We begin our discussion now of epistemology. Epistemology, you may recall from the beginning of the semester, is the study of knowledge. What do we know? How do we know it? What counts as knowledge? When I ask people, what do you know? There are many options that are presented to me. Students tell me they know their name. They know that 2 + 2 = 4. They know how to brush their teeth. They know how to ride a bike. Well, the last two are what we call performative knowledge. Notice the word perform in that larger phrase. Performative knowledge. Knowledge on how to perform a task. How to brush your teeth, how to ride a bike. We are more interested, however, in propositional knowledge. Propositional knowledge is knowledge of the truth of a proposition. I know that 2 + 2 = 4. I know that triangles have 3 sides. I know what my name is. I know what day it is. This is propositional knowledge, knowledge of the truth of a proposition or a claim. And that's what we're going to be looking at. If we want to be able to say we know that the chair exists, remember that from the beginning as well? We know that the chair exists. We know that the sky is blue. We need to be able to talk about what makes it knowledge and how we gain that knowledge. So that's what we will be looking at over the course of this chapter. So what is knowledge? What counts as knowledge? Well, we all know that there's a difference between believing something and knowing something, right? We have lots of beliefs that we may not count as knowledge. But when it comes to knowledge, we must also believe it, okay? So knowledge, first and foremost, must be a belief. But that's not enough. Because if I have a false belief, I don't know it. I might think I know it, but I don't actually know it. Okay? When we were children, we may have believed that Santa Claus existed. And we may have even said, and I know he exists. But we didn't, right? So knowledge has to be a true belief. But more than that, it has to be justified. Okay? So knowledge is justified true belief. First and foremost, I have to believe it. I cannot know something that I don't believe. Then the belief has to be true. I can't know something false. I can think I know it, but that's not the same thing, right? And then it has to be justified. I have to have good reason for the belief. Now, this word, justified, is where we start encountering our conflict, because what we're going to see is that different philosophers require different things of justification. What counts as sufficient justification for a true belief to count it as knowledge? For example, is reasonable doubt sufficient for true belief to be justified? Or rather, without reasonable doubt? If I can know something 90% of the way, is that sufficient? Or do I have to have 100% certainty? We are going to see, as we look at our various philosophical theories on knowledge, that different people are going to require different levels of certainty as justification. Now, there are some people who would claim that we can never be justified in our beliefs, and they are known as skeptics. Skepticism is the claim that we don't know something, and it might be that we don't know anything. Okay? So if I'm a skeptic about intelligent life on other planets, then I will say, I don't know if there's intelligent life on other planets. Maybe I can never know if there's intelligent life on other planets. But if I'm an extreme skeptic, a skeptic about everything, then I'll say, I can't know anything. There's nothing that I can be justified in believing, so I have no knowledge. So we're going to see how different philosophers attempt to escape skepticism. Make sense? Okay, just a few more terms. Rationalism is the theory that knowledge is gained through reason. This is the first theory we're going to look at. Our rationalists believe that our eyes, our touch, our smell, our five senses basically deceive us and cannot be trusted. So we have to gain knowledge using only reason, our capability to reason. This is in contrast with our empiricists who believe that knowledge is in fact gained through the senses. Sensory perception, experience with the world is what provides us knowledge of the world. A priori knowledge is knowledge gained before experience. Okay, now notice a priori, notice that prior right there, okay? A priori, it's Latin for before, okay? A priori, gained before experience. So our rationalists are going to say, we're going to have knowledge that's gained before experience. It comes through reason. A posteriori knowledge, however, is knowledge gained after experience. Post, okay? Post, after, posterior, behind, after, okay? A posteriori knowledge is knowledge gained after experience. We can easily see how our empiricists would believe there's a posteriori knowledge. Our rationalists would believe there's a priori knowledge. We are going to look towards the end of the unit at somebody who combines those in a very interesting way.